Irene Aldana, oh my gosh. Okay, so you went from a main event against Raquel Pennington, May 20th in the UFC Apex, to now you are fighting for the world title June 10th in Vancouver at UFC 289 against Amanda Nunes. I need to know, how was this news delivered to you?
Imagine that. I was closing combat for the fight against Raquel Pennington for May 20. I was just finishing my training session, my wrestling training session. It was a hard training. I was exhausted, and I saw my phone, and I got a Mick Maynard call missing, and I just returned the call to him, and he was, okay, so we're calling you because things are like this. Juliana is injured. She's out of the fight with Amanda, and we want to offer you the fight against Amanda Nunes on June 10th. So are you in? Right away, talk to my coach. Oh, yes, we're in. And he said, okay, so we need you to get to New York on Friday to promote the fight and to go to the press conference, so get ready. So things changed from one day to another, and one day I was main event with Raquel, and the next day I was fighting for a world title. So things has been very exciting in the gym. We're happy for the opportunity, and we're here.
There's a lot of success in your gym as well, which we'll get into. But, you know, I interviewed Amanda Nunes just a few weeks ago, and she told me that she originally thought you would be her opponent, and she was kind of surprised that the matchup with Juliana was made. For you, I mean, how long have you been expecting that phone call?
Actually, since long time, since 2019, when I fought Kathleen Vieira, I was ready to fight Amanda. But things are going this way for a reason, and I have earned a lot of experience since then. So I have always have in mind Amanda Nunes. So I've always been training just to be ready for her, training for whatever the call comes. And I think it came in the right time.
And you were able to say yes because you've always been training to be ready.
Yeah, for sure.
But when you were essentially almost at the end of camp for Raquel Pennington, so how much adjustment can be made? How do you ensure you're not overtrained when you get into the fight, but you are, of course, prepared for a very different opponent in a very different setting?
It was great. We thought that it was great because we have 6 more weeks to get ready. We were training hard. You were ready for 5 rounds, and now you're training Amanda, and we have 6 more weeks for that, so this is perfect for us. We get to relax a little bit, but not too much, and just to accomplish with all this media and all this work for the promotion, and get right away to get ready. And we're very motivated and excited for this.
Was there anything in your prep for Raquel that would be similar for how you would approach facing Amanda?
I think that the advantage here is that my coach always trains me to be ready for any fight style. He always puts me against different challenges in the gym. So you're training with this guy that is much higher than you, and with this guy that is shorter than you, and with this guy that is bigger than you, and this guy that is wrestling, and this guy makes different striking. So he taught me to be adaptive. So I adapt myself, and I can resolve problems with any fight style. So I think that's an advantage that we have.
Your gym is obviously on a hot streak. Alexa Grasso, who is very, very close to you, as well as your teammate, beat Valentina Shevchenko, and we could see the preparation for certain things that Valentina did and the footage that was released and how she executed that in the fight to become the champion against someone that many considered the greatest at 125 ever. For you and your preparation for Amanda, I would assume the confidence has to be the same there.
Yeah, for sure. We are very confident with our coach because he's very smart. We always call him like he's a crazy genius from MMA. He's so obsessed with getting better and to have the perfect game plan, and he's always obsessed to bring in new things to the gym, and he's always thinking about how he can get better. And you cannot have no confidence with that because when you have your coach being that into the things, into the fights, into our challenges, we know we're getting there with the best team, with the best training plan, with the best preparation. So we're good.
Was it extra inspiring for you to see Alexa accomplish what she did?
For sure, for sure. This is, I have so much motivation for that because saw her dealing with all this stuff that was around the fight, all the media, all the pressure, everything was against her, and she dealt with it very good, and she performed. She made the best perform ever. She she was shining that night, and I'm so glad she did it, and of course that gives me so much more motivation for my fight.
Did she have any advice for you as you entered, this main event challenger, this title challenger position?
Yeah, she was very happy for me. When she arrived to Guadalajara after her fight, she was just landing. She went to my home, she showed me her belt, and the first thing she said was, "You're next." And I was like, yeah, of course. But when we got the news that I'm facing Amanda, she was so happy for me, and she just said, "Go for it. Just go for it. We're here for it. We work so hard for it. Just go there. Just go there and make your thing." And we're always pushing each other.
And obviously it pays off in the gym, but Mexico is having quite a movement in the UFC right now. We've got Brandon Moreno, Yair Rodriguez, of course Alexa, and now you're challenging Amanda. What is it about Mexican fighters in MMA that is finding so much success on a high level?
I think seeing each other accomplishing all this success. First Brandon, and he shake Mexico, and we were like, oh, if he did it, we can make it also. And we found strength seeing other people's success. And we're not trained together. We don't train with Brandon or Jair, but we feel them like we were partners. We were training partners. And we feel them like they are part of the team. We really love each other. We really support each other. And I believe their success is our strength too. So I think this is very important for Mexico, and I'm ready to give them the fourth belt.
What would it say about your coaches and your gym if both you and Alexa are able to defeat the GOATs of your divisions?
Well, it means that we have been doing things right. If you trust your team, if you trust your work, things can go wrong there. So we've been working hard since we started. We always have the UFC belt in mind. So we first started, since our first fight, since our first fight in Guadalajara. Our coach always told us, you guys are going to be there, you both girls are going to be in the UFC, and you both girls are going to be champs. And we're like, you think so? No, maybe we're not so sure about that. And they say, believe me, you're going to. And he was so confident of that, and we trust him with all of our souls and heart. We gave him all this trust, and he believed in us too. And we worked together always as a team, and we never thought of going anywhere, training anywhere outside Mexico. We always got married with the idea of representing Mexico, training in Mexico with Mexican coaches, with our gym in Mexico, and we are so happy to be accomplishing that.
There's so much to be happy and proud about there. I want to talk to you about the last couple of years of your fight career. You've had about one fight a year for the past 3 years. So your body's been able to rest, but also the activity level isn't necessarily as high as maybe other people in your division. For you, why was that where you have been at in terms of how many fights you can have a year, and how do you feel like it ultimately could benefit you?
It was definitely not my choice. If it was for me, I would have been fighting several more times in 4 years, but as you are in the top of the division, things get harder. Sometimes you get your opponents got hurt, injuries, or there's some mixed struggle sometimes to get me some fights. And my fight with Jermaine came off 3 times, and then I got injured, then they couldn't find me an opponent, so they got Macy, who was 11 that time, and I was already in the top 4 of the division, and she was the only one who took the fight. And things got harder these years, but definitely I love to be active. But the advantage here is I'm always training in the gym. So I don't get vacations, so I'm always training, and that's the way I stay active.
Always training, and that's a lot of times when our athletes say that the most improvements and maybe evolutions are made is when they don't have a particular opponent to focus on.
Yeah.
When you look back at who you were in 2019, when you thought you could maybe get the phone call to fight for the title, How does that version of yourself compare to who you are now today as you prepare to face Amanda Nunes?
I am a complete different fighter now, and I have so much more confidence because I have evolved so much on all this time. I have learned much more things, and I'm more skilled fighter, and I'm so excited to show that in this fight, not just because it's the belt, because I have a much more different fight style in this time, and I have I'm more fluid, I'm more confident, and I'm glad the phone call came this time and not in 2019. I feel more ready than ever this time.
Confidence is key, especially when you are facing Amanda Nunes. Many consider her the greatest combat sports athlete of all time in terms of females, and one of the greatest of all time regardless of gender. So when you step into this position, there is a lot to worry about. There's media, there's tons of obligations that are being asked of you. How much does that confidence help you? And the fact that you can also ask your teammate, Alexa Grasso, what that experience was like for her and how she best balanced it or what she would have done differently.
Definitely, Amanda is one of the greatest. She is the greatest. She has accomplished everything that a woman can do in this sport, and I respect her a lot. And I'm honored to share the octagon with her. And this is a big challenge for me. This is the biggest challenge for me ever. If it wasn't for the title, if it just was another fight with Amanda, not the title in the line, it still will be one of the biggest fights ever. But in this point, I feel very happy that it came in this time because I feel so ready for that, and I'm just enjoying the moment. I'm enjoying the media. I'm enjoying all these things that I have to do to deal with, and just the pressure. I'm happy with the pressure. I like the pressure now, and just the motivation is bigger than the pressure.
What are the keys when you face someone like Amanda, who is good everywhere, to ensuring that you are successful in as many of the exchanges wherever they take place?
Just to stay confident about what we have been training for, just this hard work, and just to bring that Mexican heart, that Mexican heat to the octagon that night, and to stay focused and just to go with the flow, and I have nothing to lose.
It's very true. This one is scheduled for 5 rounds. You were preparing for 5 rounds. How much are you looking forward to that, to being able to see those later rounds with Amanda?
I think we're ready for that. We always train in the gym to deal with adversity, and I have had 40 minutes sparring rounds, like no rest. It's crazy that we take it to the limit, but in a smart way. So we're not overtraining. Just I don't know. My coach is very smart for that, but he pushes us over the limit, but in the way that we stay healthy and to be mentally prepared for whatever happens in the fight and for the worst scenarios in the fight. So that gives me a lot of confidence.
When you look at your tool belts of physical gifts and skills that you have, what do you think will be the most important one?
The Mexican heart. Definitely the Mexican heart, and just to no go backwards, just always going forward, just always looking to fight, just to be really present, be present, because you know there's when you're there, sometimes it gets blurry, like you're overwhelmed and there's a lot of people, the lights, the opponent, the event itself, the challenge, the belt and everything. You can get overwhelmed. Just to stay focused and just to be there, and if I'm there, it's because I'm ready to be there. The UFC is trusting me to take this fight in short notice because they think I'm capable too, and I do believe that. So just to be myself and enjoy the moment.
There's a lot of people who believe that you are capable of achieving the belt and winning this fight. Was there anything that you could take from Juliana Pena and when she defeated Amanda?
Juliana versus Amanda in both fights, that was a very interesting fight. And I can see a lot of what happened in that fight for both, and I can see in which areas Juliana was success and in which ones were not. And I seen that I can be able to adapt my game plan to being successful with Amanda.
When you saw that fight take place and it actually happened live in front of you, I mean, were your wheels kind of spinning? Like, okay, if I approach it this way, or if I get the next shot. I mean, were you already thinking about that?
Yeah.
When
I was sparring with Amanda when I saw that fight, and I was, oh, maybe I can do that. I will be able to do that, and if she does that, I can do this. And you always imagine all kinds of ways that the fight can go, and I believe I have a great chance to win this fight.
How do you imagine June 10th in UFC 289's main event?
It's gonna be awesome. I believe we're going to see more Mexicans than we thought, because it's far away. It's in Canada. I believe it's not a Mexican place. It's hard to think that Mexicans will fly to Canada to see me fight, but I think we're going to see a lot of Mexicans there and a lot of support there. And I think that I really enjoy to be with the audience. I really do. When they asked me to fight in the Apex in Las Vegas, I told to make, can it be with people in there? Can it be in the arena? No, we have to make it in the Apex. Oh, it's okay. But I really enjoy being with the audience. It fulfills me with the energy of the people. So I'm really excited for that.
We are so excited to see this one. What would mean more to you? To become the world champion for the first time, or to defeat the greatest of all time?
To defeat the greatest of all time, definitely. The belt is just a representation of what all the hard work has been in all this time. It represents all my journey. It's just a plus, but obviously to defeat Amanda will be the greatest thing that I have accomplished in my life. It's the biggest challenge ever. I respect her a lot. I mean, she's been here for a long time. She's been fighting the best of the best. She has nothing to prove, and she's still here because she loves to do this and because she is so good at. And I'm glad to come here and to show that I can be a worthy opponent for her.
Absolutely. You know, as you sort of talk about this fight, you get this little smile on your face as you're envisioning certain things, I can just tell. How do you spend the next weeks and days in the lead up to UFC 289?
Well, just training and training hard, and also enjoying the journey and enjoying all my preparation for this. Just not get too overwhelmed, too stressful, because I feel myself like I'm in the right level for it. I don't have to overdo things. I'm just to keep going with what I have been doing all this time, and just being ready to give Amanda the best version of myself, because if I'm not there bringing Amanda my best version, I'm being disrespectful to her. So I want to give her the best opponent that she has ever had, and just to give the audience and the UFC one of the greatest fights ever.
We certainly can't wait to watch. We think this has been a long time coming for you to get this title shot. At NA, best of luck to you. Thank you so much for your time. Enjoy every second of it. We can't wait to see you in Vancouver.
Thank you very much,
Thanks.
Megan.